3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hey, welcome back everybody to Chrissy and Tommy's Adventures. So today we are on board the Carnival Vista, the first cruise back after the pandemic. So the first cruise that Carnival has been able to do in the last 15 months. And I wanted to kind of give you guys a quick, breakdown on how things have gone, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's jump right into it. Well, first, Chrissy's not here. She's off gambling. She's gonna win us $5,000 so we can go on free cruises. So let me hop into it. So how was the check-in process? Check-in process was super easy. We had it was 11:30 to noon check-in time. We showed up right about noon. We had a little bit of traffic, so we didn't get there exactly on time. And it was smooth sailing all the way through. We were able actually to get all the way through the check-in process and on board the Vista, and I'd say less than 30 minutes. So that was super, super easy. All we had to do when we got to the first check-in station is show all of our documentation, our passport or our citizenship documents, vaccination cards, and of course, our boarding pass. They looked it all over, made sure that our vaccinations were within more than 14 days, stamped our documents, and then we were off to the next checkpoint, which was security. After security, there was another checkpoint where they checked again our documents, they checked our passport, and they checked everything. And I think that's like the official check-in. The first check-in spot is just kind of like, okay, let's make sure they have everything. They got all their stuff together. Then, of course, after that, they take your picture so that they have, your face. It allows it so they can use facial recognition, and you can check on and off board without them having to worry about, who you are. And then from there, you get right on the ship. Didn't take any amount of time. And one of the questions we got asked was, how was it to step back on board? And it was pretty surreal for a minute there. It's a little long walk up the gangway, but once you get there, you get to rip your mask off, and you don't have to put a mask on again until you're actually leaving the ship again. So that's pretty simple and pretty easy. So next thing, like someone asked us what was the first thing we did, and the first thing we did was we actually went to our room. We got our sign and sale cards from outside the door, and we put all of our carry-on luggage into the room. I carry a bunch of like video equipment, of course, and I wanted to get that put away as soon as possible. And then from there, we went to our muster station to check in, which the muster check-in process is way easier than it used to be. It's super simple. You just go to your muster check-in station, you present them your sign and sale card. They'll scan one of you and your party's card, and then it'll pull up pictures of everyone in the party. They just select everyone to make sure everyone's there, and then bam, you're checked in. And then from there, there's a 5-minute presentation on where they show you how to put on a life jacket. Super simple, super easy. Like I said, it took us less than 5 minutes to check in, and it's a way better procedure than it was before. I'd say the only hiccup there was there were people who actually didn't do it. So when we were trying to actually leave, we couldn't leave. We were delayed a good half hour because people had not checked in to their muster station yet. And I believe they have to have 100% compliance there in order to actually sail away. They were actually calling people's names over the loudspeaker system to call them out saying, hey, you need to check into your muster station. So that was the muster check-in, and a lot easier than pre-COVID. So COVID protocols, there aren't really any. The crew is wearing masks most of the time. You don't have to wear a mask as long as you're vaccinated. If you're unvaccinated, you have to wear a mask. So if I was unvaccinated, I probably wouldn't want to take a cruise. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, this is one of the questions I was frequently asked. And also I want to say, if you have any questions, please just go ahead and ask me down in the comments, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. And I'm gonna have to probably upload this video as soon as we hit our first port, because there's just not enough bandwidth on the ship's Wi-Fi to put out a video of any amount of length. So the last one was the hub app, the internet, and QR codes. So one of the big changes is that there's QR codes for everything now. So when you go to dinner, you go to the MDR, the main dining room, they're not going to give you the little paper menu anymore. You can actually scan it with your phone. You don't need the internet package to pull it up. It's all local. All you have to do is connect your phone to the local Wi-Fi, and all the QR codes will work. So again, you don't need internet, you don't need the hub app, you don't need any of that. But I would recommend downloading the Hub app prior to getting on board, because the procedure to download it after you get on board is somewhat difficult, and more than likely someone has to walk you through it. Like I could make a video about it, but you're not gonna have access to the internet, so it won't do you any good. Super easy, download the Hub app. You can connect to the internet and connect to Wi-Fi, and it's decent. It's not great. You're not gonna have super quality. We actually have done some live videos, so if you go to our Facebook, you can check out some of the live videos and see that, you know, quality wasn't amazing, but it was good enough to get the gist of it. So the bad, there are some things, there are a few, you know, hiccups that we did hit, and one of them was, you know how you can prepay for things like water and soda and like alcohol, and you can have it delivered to your room prior to you even getting on board. Well, Texas is a little different. They can't deliver alcohol to your room till the second day, but I had pre-purchased a bottle of Crown Royal, and apparently that was not available, and we didn't find out about that until day 2. After hounding them about, hey, where's our bottle? It wasn't until I started getting a little more aggressive about, you know, what's going on, that they were like, oh, we don't have Crown. We're not, or not that they don't have Crown, they have Crown in the bars, but they're not giving it to the passengers in their room for whatever reason. I heard it's because there's a shortage of bottles, so the maker of Crown Royal is actually not selling Crown to cruise ships right now. So if that's the case, sure. So they're having to hold on to what they have in order to keep it in stock for the people who want to drink Crown. I'm one of those people. But after some cajoling, I was able to get them to deliver me a bottle of Seagram 7, which is it's a subpar substitution for Crown Royal, but I'm not a big drinker anyways, so I just like to, you know, have a couple drinks at night and loosen up. But that's probably the biggest issue that we've had, which in the big scheme of things is not a very big issue at all. I know there's been a pretty long line at the guest services ever since we got on board. I'll probably pop up some video and show you very, very long line. Even when we immediately got on board, there was a huge line. And that was another thing that was probably difficult. It actually probably took us longer to catch an elevator and get to our room, because we're on the 14th deck, than it did to actually go through the whole check-in process in the terminal. So, but that's pretty usual. Once you get on board, there's generally a lot of people trying to get up to their room. And luckily for us, our rooms were available, because this was the first cruise back on this ship and for Carnival. So they had everything ready to go for us immediately. We got our stuff, put our stuff away, got our sign and sail card, and then off to the races. And our very first thing we did was go up and to the bar and get ourselves some nice frozen drinks for a very, very hot day that it was. But so far, it's been good. Expectations are being met. It's just like it was 15 months ago. We're on the horizon back in February of 2020. It's the sister ship to the Vista, so there's not a big difference between the two of them. They're very, very similar. And yeah, we haven't noticed huge differences in service. Of course, the first night was a little bit slow, and the MDR, it actually opened up pretty late. We had the late 8:15 dinner, and they probably didn't actually let us into the dining room till like 8:30 or 8:40ish. So there was a little bit of wait there. And because of that, we ended up waiting till like 8:30 to actually show up to the MDR the second night. But after talking to our local people next to us, they said, oh no, the 8:15 doors were open. They were able to get everybody in. So the first night, they're still working out the kinks. And of course, this whole cruise, they're gonna be working out a lot of the kinks. You know, there's gonna be a lot of new guys, a lot of people who haven't done this in a long time, and they're all trying to get back into the swing of things. So another question we were asked about the main dining room is, are we seated with other parties? And no, we were seated by ourselves, and we had, our neighbors were very close. Like I could probably reach out and touch the guy's leg next to me. But we weren't seated together. We're fairly close. Oh, and quick about the QR codes and menus. They still have paper menus on board. The QR codes are there for, you know, convenience, but in case the network goes down, or maybe you don't have a phone, you can ask for a paper copy of the menus. So don't worry if you don't want to use your phone. You're still going to be able to actually get the menus and stuff like that. But I actually like it. It's all on the Hub app, and you can actually look ahead every night at what the dinner menu is going to be and decide exactly like what are you going to eat, what food do you want to get, or maybe the MDR is not going to have something you want that night, so you decide to go to a specialty restaurant like Gigi's or Bonsai or something like that for dinner instead of going to the main dining room. So there are goods to it, very few bads. So yeah, overall, super excited about the rest of the cruise. Can't wait to pull into the island of Roatan tomorrow in Honduras, and then Belize after that, and then finally Cozumel. We'll have another day at sea, and then we'll be home. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, because I'm going to have a ton of content, ton more stuff to show you about these first cruises coming back. Also, next month, the end of August, we're going to be on the Mardi Gras, one of the first cruises for the Carnival's Mardi Gras. So look forward to that, guys. And again, like and subscribe so you can see all that content. Also check out our other our Facebook page. A lot of the information that I've shared here, I've actually put out on the Facebook page in our blog. So check out Chrissy and Tommy's Adventures on Facebook. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.